How do you deal with the Micah Parsons situation? I had the good fortune of playing with Reggie White, a team that offenses had to game plan for. How do you deal with the not knowing about Micah's situation?
It's not all that uncommon to what happens in a year, right? When a guy, is questionable, from the week before. I know this. You always have to account for where really good, great players are. Just like we talked about with CD and just like we talked about with George. It's the same deal there. And so, that is preps us for the year, of when a guy might be questionable. All we can do is focus on our process, our players, our fundamentals, all the things that we can focus on, control the things that we can control, and be prepared in either way.
Coach, you hear so much in the offseason as we get through this stuff about the list, people talking about quarterbacks. Your quarterback, Jalen Hurts, gets another voice in his ear, albeit one he's familiar with this year. I guess I'm just curious for him, what about his approach to football has given him the ability to produce so consistently, no matter who's calling plays with him, who's around him, things like that?
He loves it. He loves the game of football, and he loves everything about it, the preparation, the game, the work that, in the weight room, in the classroom. And he just prepares like nobody I've ever seen. And I love that about him. And he, he's done so many good things and in this game and made so many plays and won so many games, but his hunger for getting better is unmatched. He just wants to keep getting better. And that's what you want out of the leaders of your football team, is this hunger to get better, because when the leaders are doing that, everybody does that, or everybody follows. And man, he's got this hunger to get better. And I've seen him grow every year and continuing to work on his game, even after all the success that he's had. And I admire that so much. And he just, it really comes down to, and every time you're looking for a guy to be on your football team, I always want to answer the question, is he tough? And does he love football? Because when you have those things, God willing, you reach your ceiling. And those are some of the things that you can't ever, see, right? They're not, you have to dig for them. You can't necessarily always see them on tape, but you have to dig for them. And that's what I love about him, because you just see him continually get better, continuing to find ways to win. And that's his job as the quarterback, is to find ways to win regardless. And that's the other thing I love about him. We may not have passed the ball a lot last year as much as, so I think people get enthralled with, well, he didn't have as many touchdowns as this guy, or he didn't have as many passing yards as this guy. Well, no, but his efficiency was great. He wins. And that's the job of any quarterback, right, is to win the football game. And I love his selflessness, that even when he has to answer questions like this, with that, he doesn't sway away from keeping the main thing. He likes to say this, keep the main thing. And that's winning football games. And man, you admire that, especially when there's so much outside noise. Man, the man just wins. And I wish they had that stat like a baseball pitcher. Like, the team won on baseball, but Zach Wheeler got the win, right? I wish that was a stat on football. I think that's the more important stat than how many yards you pass for. And really, in my eyes, the more important stat for a quarterback is your efficiency, because it's what you're doing. And he was over 100 last year. It's what you're doing with the plays that you have.
Bottom line is you and the rest of the team get to hold up the Lombardi Trophy as world champions, and you get to continue with the tush push. So it's a double win. So,